Discoverers! Today we're going to be talking about savanna animals and we're also going to learn about the safari and what safari means, okay? Later on we're going to go over our letters of the week right here, but let's get started with savanna animals. What do you guys think the word savanna means? That's right. Savanna animals simply means wild animals because savanna means plains and prairies, right? And so these animals live in this kind of open area where they live off of the land, right? All of our animals mostly live off of the land, but these animals are kind of free in that domain of plains and prairies and where it's grassy, or some of them maybe not as much grass, but it's just another way to say savanna animals instead of saying animals in the prairie or animals in the plains or something like that, okay? And then we have this word. This is our word of the week. Everyone say safari. Safari. Very good, guys. Safari means a trip to find animals. That's what safari means, a trip to find animals. And so we learned last week about zoo animals, but we're going to see what happens when we go on a safari. We find these animals from different places and how they're brought to our local zoo, right? So a lot of people think that the animals just appear at the zoo. They're born here and they just live here. But sometimes they purchase them from other countries like Africa and Asia, okay? They're really small, but maybe I'll send some pictures later on. But this big picture in the center is a safari map. And it just tells us how the animals kind of travel to get to our local zoos that we see, right? There is something called a safari zoo. And a safari zoo is basically a journey or a trip to find animals in your cars. So I went to a local safari about 2 years ago where we basically had to stay in cars and or in buses. We were in a bus and we got to feed the animals food. They would come up to the car and, well, close enough to the car, and you let your window down and you could feed them, and the bus driver took us on a trip to look at all of the animals, and he told us where they're from and the names, their counter names, if there was a female or a male and they had different names. And we got to see some of the animals we don't normally see in the zoo. Like, I've never seen a camel at the regular zoo, so I got to see one of those. I got to see a lion. It was really, really beautiful, but we couldn't go very close to him because some of them, I remember, we were able to get out of the bus and walk and take the trip to look at the animals. But this one, they had a big sign because lions make what sound? Right? They make a big roar. And so they can be kind of scary if you're too close to them. So we don't get too close to them. And so they had a note that we could not get too close to the lion. But those are the certain animals that you don't always see at the zoo, or if you do, they're kind of they're limited in the zoo. So we're also going to look at the 2 different ways they travel to get over here to the U.S. And that is on a boat. You see all of these silly animals, they're in a boat. And actually, that's how they get them over here sometimes. If they have to cross water, they like to ship them over. Some people call it boating the animals, but I don't think that they would just boat the animals by themselves. So they ship the animals over here on the boat. And then Also on a plane. Some people say ship the animals on a plane, which is fine to say, but the animals, they fly on an airplane in a safe environment, and they're brought to our local zoos where we get to see them. Like some of the snakes that we see, or some of the zebras that we see, they're not always here in the domain of America. They're not born here or known to be here in America. So they go to places like Africa and Asia and get some of those animals and bring them over here to share with you guys when you go to the zoo. All right, and so we're also going to go over our letters of the week. Remember, we have 2 letters because we are going over, we're doing a review. So we're going over things we've already learned, but we get to learn more and refresh our brains, right? So this one, which one is this one? Can you see it? It's the letter, what letter is this? A. Good job, guys. This is the letter A. Good. And so I've already pre-drawn it here, but I'll draw it again under here. So you have a capital A. We just draw it like this and across, just like that. And then we draw a lowercase a, like that. Good. And then we're going to draw a V. A V, the letter V. Can you guys make the letter V? Good. You guys make the letter V. Good job. This is the letter V. We're going to make it together. That's a capital V. And that's a lowercase v, okay? So I kind of doubled the letters here, but you have a capital A and a lowercase a. And then you have a capital V and a lowercase v, okay? That's all that we are going to do for gather time today. I hope to get back with you guys for Learn Together, where we are going to discuss little a. We're going to look at words that begin with the letter A, and we're going to take a journey to see what little A is going to put in his box, okay? I hope to see you guys later. Bye, Discoverers.